I believe in Adam and Eve, and I believe in original sin. And the original sin was pride, ignited by the temptation of the serpent that led to a disobedience. And the consequences of that original sin were catastrophic. I mean, God had warned our original parents, if you eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall die the death. And some interpret that as a double death, a spiritual death and a physical death in the body. The consequences of original sin were manifold, multiple. Firstly, we lost preternatural gifts. I'll explain that. Preternatural gifts were given to us above our nature to perfect our lives on earth. So we lost infused knowledge, replaced by ignorance. We lost integrity, which was the dominion of the spirit over the flesh. And now we have the spirit of the flesh dominating the spirit. And we have the consequences of that called concupiscence. I'll describe concupiscence later on. And instead of freedom from pain, sickness, suffering, and death, which we were protected by the gifts of impassibility and immortality, we will now suffer pain, sickness, suffering, decrepitude, and death. So we lost the four I's: infused knowledge, integrity, impassibility, and immortality. We were then expelled from paradise out of the eastern gate, so we wouldn't access the fruit of the tree of life, so we would die. Now the law of labor was in place, everything was to be difficult. We also, on top of all those disasters, we also lost sanctifying grace. We lost the elevated status of being supernatural children of God, and now felt just being natural creatures who were wounded and under the dominion of Lucifer. And again, to top that off again, we lost heaven. So we're out there, out of paradise, and we're wounded people under the dominion of Lucifer and the dominion of the flesh. But Adam and Eve were repentant. And God promised to redeem her even before he expelled us out of paradise. We're expelled from paradise in Genesis 3:22, but the Redeemer is promised in Genesis 3:15.